Hello everyone. Welcome to One More Thing. I'm Matt. Today we are going to talk about this YouTube video on the 10 signs of the new poor. Poverty has always been a serious problem for the global community, and emerging poverty is emerging in today's increasingly complex economic environment. Often referred to as the new poor, these people face many economic and social challenges that make it difficult for them to achieve their goals of economic stability and social mobility. In this film, we will explore the characteristics of 10 new poor people. The impact of these characteristics on the new poor is profound, affecting not only their economic stability, but also their quality of life and relationships. Understanding these characteristics is important because it can help us better understand the challenges facing the new poor and provide more effective solutions to help them achieve their goals of economic stability and social mobility. Let's get started now. 1. Income instability. For the new poor, the lack of stable work is a serious problem. The lack of a stable source of income can make it difficult for them to pay for daily expenses such as rent, food, healthcare, etc. In addition, the lack of stable jobs can also make it difficult for them to plan and predict future income, which can have long-term effects on their lives. Not having a stable job can also make the new poor feel depressed and hopeless, further affecting their self-esteem and mental health. Therefore, providing stable job opportunities for the new poor is an important step in addressing the challenges they face, which will not only help them achieve economic stability, but also boost their self-confidence and expectations for the future. Governments and social institutions can improve their economic stability and quality of life by providing vocational training, creating jobs, and supporting entrepreneurship to help the new poor gain stable jobs. In addition, businesses can also play an important role in providing stable and meaningful job opportunities for the new poor by providing reasonable wages and benefits. Providing stable jobs for the new poor not only helps them achieve their goals of economic stability and social mobility, but also contributes to the prosperity and development of society as a whole. 2. High house prices and high rents. The inability of the new poor to afford high housing prices and rents is an important aspect of poverty. For the new poor, high housing prices and rents are often beyond their affordability, making it difficult to find suitable housing. This has led to multiple problems, including unsafe, overcrowded and unhygienic housing, which further affects the quality of life and health of the new poor. One way to address this problem is to provide affordable housing options, such as through government-funded property construction or rent control through rental property control measures. In addition, financial assistance and grants can help the newly poor pay their rents and mortgages. In addition, raising the minimum wage and providing more employment opportunities can help the new poor to increase their incomes, thereby making them more able to pay rent and mortgages. Another solution to the problem of high housing prices and rents is to improve the balance of supply and demand in the housing market. Governments can push to increase housing supply by increasing housing construction and improving land use efficiency. In addition, policies should be put in place to restrict foreign investment and speculative buyers to ease the pressure on rising house prices. Providing affordable housing options for the new poor is an important step in addressing poverty, which not only improves their quality of life, but also helps them achieve their goals of economic stability and social mobility. Governments and social institutions can achieve this in a number of ways, including providing financial assistance, building property, and controlling rents. At the same time, the government should also work to improve the balance of supply and demand in the housing market to reduce the pressure of rising house prices and better meet the housing needs of the new poor. 3. High medical expenses. The new poor have to pay high medical costs, which is a serious problem for them, as they often do not have enough financial support to cope with these costs. If they do not receive timely and appropriate treatment, this may further exacerbate their illness or the severity of the disease, with a greater impact on their quality of life and economic situation. To address this problem, the government can help the newly poor pay for health care, including through health insurance, grants and financial assistance. In addition, governments can reduce the cost of health care that the new poor need to pay by establishing community health centers and promoting primary health care to make basic health services more accessible to the new poor. Governments can also work with healthcare providers to reduce medical costs and drug costs, making medical costs more affordable. In addition, education is an important aspect of the problem. Raising awareness of health and preventive care among the new poor can help them better avoid illness and its severity, thereby reducing the medical costs they need to pay. Education can also help the new poor better understand how to use health insurance and other health resources to better cope with healthcare costs. 4. High educational costs. Another important problem facing the new poor is the high cost of education. Education is an important way to improve an individual's economic and social status. But for the new poor, the lack of adequate financial support and resources makes it difficult for them to obtain high-quality education. To address this problem, governments and social institutions can help the new poor pay for their education by providing scholarships, loans and grants. In addition, governments can improve access to quality education for the new poor by establishing more public schools and providing quality educational resources. These measures can help the new poor gain better education and improve their skills and knowledge, thereby increasing their employment opportunities and economic stability. In addition, communities and nonprofit organizations can play an important role in helping the new poor improve their skills and knowledge by providing educational and vocational training courses. These courses can provide practical skills and knowledge, such as basic English, computer skills and vocational training, thereby increasing employment opportunities and economic stability for the new poor. 5. Huge credit card debt. Another important problem facing the new poor is the huge amount of credit card debt. This is usually due to the fact that they need to cope with expenses such as daily expenses, medical expenses, education expenses, etc., but lack sufficient financial support and resources, so they have to rely on credit cards. If they fail to pay their credit card debt on time, this can lead to high debt interest and penalties, further exacerbating their financial difficulties. To address this, the new poor can manage and reduce credit card debt in a number of ways. First, they can create a financial budget plan to account for their income and expenses, so they can better control expenses and avoid over-reliance on credit cards. In addition, they can also seek interest rate adjustments and installment plans offered by credit card companies to reduce interest on debt and increase repayment flexibility. In addition, they can also seek loans or debt restructuring programs offered by credit institutions to reduce debt stress and better manage debt. Improving financial literacy is also an important aspect of the problem. By improving personal financial literacy and skills, the new poor can better manage their finances by better understanding concepts such as credit card interest rates, repayment plans and financial budgeting. 6. Lack of savings. Another important problem facing the new poor is the lack of savings. Because their income levels are low and they need to cope with expenses such as daily expenses, medical expenses, education expenses, etc., it is difficult to have extra funds to save. The lack of savings puts the new poor under greater pressure when they encounter emergencies or need to cope with unexpected expenses. To solve this problem, the new poor can increase their savings in a number of ways. First, they can develop a financial budget plan to account for their income and expenses, so that they can better control expenses, and save the saved money. At the same time, they can also seek higher income opportunities, such as finding better job opportunities, or starting a side hustle to increase their income, so that they have more money to save. Second, the new poor can increase their savings by using savings schemes and investment programs offered by financial service institutions. For example, opening savings accounts, fixed deposits, bonds, etc. allows them to save and invest their money effectively and increase their assets. In addition, improving personal financial knowledge and skills is also an important aspect of solving this problem. By improving financial literacy and skills, the new poor can better understand how to save and invest effectively, thereby increasing their assets and financial stability. 7. Poor areas live. Another important problem for the new poor is living in poor areas. Because of lower incomes, the new poor tend to live in poor areas, where economic development, lack of social resources and public services, and poor environmental quality can have a negative impact on the population living in the region. In order to solve this problem, the government and social institutions can improve the living environment and improve the quality of life of residents in poor areas in a variety of ways. First of all, the government can increase investment and build more public facilities and community facilities, such as parks, libraries, gyms, etc., so as to improve the level of social resources and public services in the region, and increase the welfare and life satisfaction of residents. In addition, governments can improve their living environment by providing housing subsidies, public transport concessions, etc., to help the new poor afford better housing and transportation. Second, communities and nonprofit organizations can also play an important role in improving living conditions in poor areas by providing community services and support. For example, they can provide job training and career development support. thereby improving employment opportunities and income levels for residents. At the same time, they can also provide education, health and psychological support services to enhance the social capital and quality of life of residents. 8. Poor diet. Another important problem facing the new poor is an unhealthy diet. Due to lower incomes, the new poor often have to choose cheaper foods, which usually lack nutritional value, contain more sugar, fat and sodium, and long-term consumption can easily lead to obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure and other health problems. To address this problem, the new poor can improve their eating habits and nutritional levels in a number of ways. First, they can develop a healthy eating plan to ensure adequate daily intake of nutrients. For example, increase the intake of nutrients such as vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and protein, and reduce the intake of foods high in sugar, high in fat, and high in sodium. They can also choose healthier and more nutritious foods, such as fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, dairy products, etc. Second, the new poor can use food assistance and cooking training provided by communities and nonprofits to improve eating habits and nutrition. For example, they can participate in food assistance programs and get healthy foods like fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and more. At the same time, they can also take cooking training courses to learn how to make healthier, tastier foods that can improve their eating habits. 9. Social exclusion and discrimination. Another important problem facing the new poor is social exclusion and discrimination. Due to lower incomes, the new poor often face negative evaluation and discrimination in society, and they may be seen as marginalized by society, neglected or excluded, which can negatively affect their self-esteem and sense of social participation. To address this problem, governments, social institutions and individuals can reduce social exclusion and discrimination in a number of ways. First, the government can strengthen attention and support for the poor through publicity, education and laws and regulations, and explicitly prohibit discrimination and exclusion of the poor. Governments can also help the new poor lift themselves out of poverty and become rich through charity and social protection programs, thereby enhancing their social status and sense of participation. Second, social institutions can reduce social exclusion and discrimination by providing support and services. For example, they can provide job training and career development support, thereby helping the new poor to become more competitive in employment and social. At the same time, they can provide education, health and psychological support services to enhance the social capital and quality of life of the new poor. 10. Cultural and recreational activities are not available. Another important problem facing the new poor is the lack of access to cultural and recreational activities. Due to lower incomes, the new poor are often unable to afford high cultural and recreational activities and participate in various social activities, which can negatively affect their social and cultural life, leaving them feeling lonely and helpless. To address this issue, governments, social institutions and individuals can increase the cultural and recreational participation of the new poor in a number of ways. First, governments can increase their participation in culture and recreation by helping the new poor to afford cultural and recreational activities by providing subsidies and fee waivers. Governments can also make it easier for the new poor to participate by providing low-cost or free cultural and recreational activities, including through the establishment of cultural centers, libraries and public facilities within the community. Second, social institutions can increase their social and cultural participation by providing free or low-cost cultural and recreational activities, such as concerts, art exhibitions, theatrical performances, sports events, etc., by giving the new poor the opportunity to participate in various cultural and recreational activities. In summary, the new poor face many problems, including declining incomes, social exclusion, health problems, etc. These problems not only affect the quality of life and economic stability of the new poor themselves, but also have a negative impact on society as a whole. Addressing the problem of the new poor is therefore an important social task. Governments, social institutions and individuals can all help the new poor in different ways, including providing services such as social security, subsidies, job training, health and psychological support, and cultural and recreational activities. Only through the joint efforts of all parties can we truly solve the problem of the new poor, reduce the existence of poverty and inequality in society, and achieve harmonious, stable and sustainable social development. Therefore, we should focus on the problem of the new poor, on those who have fallen into poverty for various reasons. We can regain their dignity and hope by paying attention to, understanding, helping and supporting them, so that they can realize their value and contribute to society. At the same time, we should strengthen research and attention to poverty and inequality, and explore more effective solutions to fundamentally reduce the existence of poverty and inequality in society. Finally, let us work together to achieve a fairer, more harmonious, more stable and sustainable society. This is the end of the video. I hope you will enjoy it. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We will continue to bring you more and more valuable videos. See you next time.